I'd like to call upon Annette's subconscious, higher self, and anyone else that would like to join us today.
We are here.
Well, thank you so much. Are we able to do a body scan on the body to see how it's going?
Yes, we'll scan. She's very relaxed.
Beautiful. Okay. Are you able to give her some loving energy and some balancing energy and some healing energy as we do the session today?
Yes.
Thank you. We would like to be able to ask and understand, please, the concept that we have been hearing about when people die, they see a white light. And we would like to learn about that and also the information about a false white light. What can you tell us?
There's only one light. It's true, it's a true light. There can't be a false light. Some people don't see the light. They get lost, they look the wrong way. So they stay on the planet. If they see the light, it draws them where they belong. We all return to the light. It's a true light. It's so beautiful. It's like a magnet. It draws us to it. All we need to do is look in the direction of the light. And there's only one light. It's the light from source.
And what happens when you follow or be drawn to that light?
We move closer to source. Some people go directly all the way through to source. Most of us meet with our guides. We debrief the life we've lived. We review our life. We talk about past lives. We talk about future lives. We make decisions.
What sort of decisions can be made there?
Some of us make decisions to go to places to heal. Some of us make new contracts. It varies a lot.
I see. And so, do you get a sense of why some people have been told about a false light?
They're just confused. The light is nothing to be afraid of. They're confused. There's only one light.
So, for those people who listen to others saying and warning them about a false light, is that merely just a confusion or is there another agenda there?
Fear. Some people are afraid of everything. Fear just creates more fear.
I see.
Many people are afraid to die. Many people are afraid, even those who know there's more on the other side and it's better. Still, so many are afraid to leave these bodies. It's a fear that's ingrained in us. We learn it as small children. We learn to be afraid.
What happens to us when we are afraid?
One fear leads to another and another. We just keep getting more and more afraid.
What does that do to ourselves or our energy or our spiritual growth?
It fills up our energy body. It spreads to others. Fear is contagious. It's like a virus. We can spread it to other people. It's not good. It doesn't feel good.
What is the best way that we can navigate out of fear?
Will you repeat that?
What is the best way for us to get out of fear?
Trust. Love. Focus on who and what we love. Fear and love can't fit in the same space. Love who we are, love where we are, love what we're doing. Fear and love cannot occupy the same space. I see love and I see fear just blowing away like the wind.
Thank you. You mentioned earlier about going to a place or a space where we connect in with our guides and we can write contracts. Can you tell us the significance of us writing contracts?
We decide before we come here. We decide what lessons we want to learn. We decide who we gather other beings who want to come to this lifetime with us. And we make contracts together. People volunteer to help us. My mother volunteered to come to teach me things that I wanted to learn in this life. So we signed a contract. We do it all the time. We make contracts. It's like planning what we're going to do, why we're coming here.
It has been said that us having contracts takes away our free will and our choices. What would you like us to know?
We have free will to make our contracts. Our team will guide us and suggest things, but we decide what we want to put in the contract. We have complete free will. And sometimes we go back. Our higher self goes back and renegotiates the contract. We can do that. Sometimes people appear to have a physical death, but their higher self renegotiates the contract and they come back to life. We are totally free to decide our contracts.
What would be in those contracts? Do we get to choose our exit points?
Please repeat that last part.
Do we choose our exit points?
Yes, we always choose our exit point. Though we can renegotiate that too, but we always choose it.
I just have seen some debates about the information about having life contracts, and some people seem to really struggle with us having contracts that they think would predetermine our experiences. And what more can you tell us about us having life contracts?
The contract isn't that detailed about our experiences. Not on our every detail of our experiences. Contract is more broad. Someone makes a contract to meet up with someone at a certain point, or a contract to care for someone. Maybe in a previous lifetime, it was the reverse. One person was a carer and the other person was taken care of. And so they'll make a contract that in this life, they'll turn it around. But the details aren't all decided how that will happen.
I see. And so it is like a general outline for what we hope for this lifetime.
Yes, sort of like that. Yes. Even people who kill each other, it's already been decided that it's going to happen, but maybe not how or when, or even how or when the two will meet up in this lifetime. One may be killed in an automobile accident, one may be shot. It all depends on the other details of the individual's contracts. But the contract between the two of them is just simply that one of them is going to kill the other one. Their own personal contracts are full of all kinds of other details.
What happens if an experience or details of one person's contract doesn't get fulfilled? What happens then?
We come back again. If something important isn't fulfilled, there will be another lifetime.
I see. And we understand from the last session we did with Annette that this is her first lifetime on Earth. So can you remind me of her purpose here now?
She came to bring light. She came to spread light on this planet. To heal the planet, to heal the people. She volunteered. You could say that's her contract. She volunteered to come here.
Fantastic.
She promised to work and she promised to stay.
And how is it going out? How is it going for her?
She's tired. She's been working very hard. She has kept her contract.
How does she work with the light?
Energetically, some of it just by being. Recently, she lets the light in through her crown and sends it out through her feet. She was told to send light through her feet. She radiates the light. People around her feel it. They don't know what it is. Many people are threatened by it because they don't know what they're feeling.
Can you describe what they would be feeling when they interact with her?
They feel power. Somehow they feel power, and for some that's frightening. For others, it helps them feel safe. They feel seen. Some people don't want to be seen.
Why is it that some people do not want to be seen?
Because they don't want to see themselves. They're afraid to look inside and see themselves.
Oh, I see. And how has she felt with these people reacting this way towards her?
It's been very hard. It's been hard when people are threatened because they lash out. Just like a dog, if you get it in a corner, it might bite because it feels threatened. These people feel threatened just because of their own, because it's pushing them to look inside. It makes them afraid.
And when they're afraid, how do they react towards others?
Sometimes they are cruel. Sometimes they try to put someone down when they're afraid of someone who feels more powerful than them. Some people, it's interesting. Some people gravitate towards power and feel like they can absorb some of it. Other people are jealous of power. They're afraid of power. It's like they want to diminish anyone that feels more powerful than them.
It sounds like it's hard work for those with Annette. What are her strategies for overcoming those reactions?
It's been very hard at times because she wasn't really aware of why people were sometimes treating her cruelly. She had a husband who was very mean because he was intimidated by her. And at that time, she just felt like something was wrong with her. She didn't recognize that it was his issue. It diminished her. It's made this life very challenging.
Can we extend her love and healing all those times she felt diminished by that husband?
Yes, yes.
How will she feel now when she reflects back on that relationship?
She will feel at peace. She will understand. Um, she's realizing there was probably a contract. There was, yes, there was an agreement that he would do this to her, for her. It was all part of her learning and growing.
So upon her learning this, it feels like she can heal greatly from that experience.
Yes, she's feeling a sense of peace right now.
Marvelous. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. In terms of the crystalline body, what can you tell her about this, please? What is hers doing?
She has a crystalline body. We're not showing her any more information.
And why is that?
She still has a crystalline body.
And so it's still within her.
Yes, it's still within her right now.
Wonderful. And what's going to happen to that crystalline body?
It will go to the new earth.
Do you get a sense of how she will experience that?
We just see it flying out of her carbon body. We just see it going upwards.
It sense that she was in the basement at her work with a co-worker when she sensed that there was this larger presence of a light. What do you have to tell her about that?
That may happen. It's one possibility. It's one possibility that it may happen. She and the coworker will go outside and her crystalline body will rise up. It's not, it's not guaranteed, but it's definitely a possibility.
What part of it is not guaranteed?
It's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed when it will happen.
Thank you. So you just gave her a sense of one possibility.
Yes, that's one possibility.
Thank you so much. And we know that the shift can happen many different times in our future we understand that it's going to, when it does happen, it will be the most appropriate for all? Is that what you would like to know, or something else?
Right now, there's a sense in her body that something's, this is very strange, that something's trying to pull away. Maybe it's showing her what it will feel like when the crystalline body goes. There's a feeling of something pulling up out of her body.
Fascinating. So are you giving her the experience of, or the subtle example of what it would feel like when this occurs?
Yes, that's what it is.
I think people are afraid or concerned that when the crystalline emerges out of the body, there is a pain associated with it.
Not for Annette. There's no pain. It will just a pulling sensation. Kind of like if your foot is stuck in the mud and you pull it out, there'll be like this sucking, but it's not painful.
Okay, I get that. Can you give me a sense of how long does it take to build a crystalline body, or what was happening for her? When did she start having it or growing it, or has she or always had it? I'm curious to understand about these crystalline bodies a little bit more.
We're hearing 10 years. 10 years she's been building this crystalline body. She thinks that's a really long time, but that's what we're hearing, 10 years.
That's amazing. It is amazing. And so has her crystalline body fully developed?
Yes, it's fully developed. It's ready.
When did it complete, I would say?
It seems like it was complete. It was complete when it started.
Can you give her a sense of this time in her life 10 years ago when it occurred?
Oh, it may have been 2012.
Yes.
We were all expecting something to happen.
And it did happen, it seems, but it just wasn't as we were expecting it to be.
Yes, for her, this is what happened.
Marvelous. Marvelous. Okay, well, thank you so much. We were curious about what's going to happen to her location during the shift or after the shift. What would you like her to know?
Her location?
Yes, where she is residing at this moment. What's going to happen to her area? Will there be any seeing natural disasters, or what can you tell us about the time around when she shifts?
I'm hearing two things. It could be an earthquake or it could be a tsunami.
I see. And so I'm assuming it's because of the different options of days when she can shift. Would that be correct?
Yes, a lot is happening on the planet. more and more every day.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Um, we were curious to hear why why Annette felt earlier that she had a visitor trying to knock on her door, energetically not.
Oh, yes.
What does he have to say? Should we call him in, or is he already there now?
She's trying to keep me out, but I'm here. Oh, I've
Well,
been bugging her for a while. She didn't want me to come in.
okay. Well, why have you been bugging her, John? What would you like us to know from you today?
I just like bugging these women. I like this one. I like the other one too, but this is something new.
And what is new about this one?
She doesn't want me to say. She's hot. She's old, but she's hot.
Well, that's
I appreciate women.
uh-huh. Okay, so getting back to business, and please be respectful of my client's body, as you are merged in with her now. So tell me more about what's happening for you at the moment. Um, are we going to be hearing the information that you have had on your computer systems? What can you share with us? We're very curious.
It's out there. People just aren't paying attention to it.
Ah,
It'll come out more in a day or two.
oh, and how is it going to look like?
Different people are going to decode.
Different people are going to decode.
It's all coded. It's all in code, and people have to figure out the code.
Oh, and so when they figure out the code, what will happen?
There's going to be a lot of information. We're not the only ones. Assange is bringing out information.
Oh,
His information is coming out more and more.
what has been holding him back from sharing his information?
Well, he had it all out there, but people aren't paying attention. He'll be in court very soon.
What's going to happen when he's in court?
I'm not sure about that. I think he'll go free and then it will all blow up.
Well, that's interesting. Okay, so then, John, tell me, I haven't experienced or explored much of the crimes against humanity, and I'm assuming you are privy to some of the video footage and emails. Is this the sort of stuff that you have?
You don't want to see this stuff. You do not want to see it. People are going to be horrified.
I'm definitely not drawn to looking at it myself. I can't even comprehend what it does to someone to see this. And even more so with the influencers and leaders, and because I'm assuming I've heard names, and I've I've heard who's responsible and who has been doing what. I'm assuming there is a lot of people that we once respected and trusted and admired who have all done horrific things. I can't even comprehend what that information's going to do for the conscious collective of humanity.
It will be like a giant riot. People will be so upset. People will be vomiting and crying, and some will just shut down in disbelief.
And so when people decode your information, are we going to have to, well, not have to, but will we then be exposed to all the footage, and will people like teenagers or will everyone have access to these horrific events?
People will have access, but not everyone will look. Too many people, it will be too upsetting. Some people have seen so many violent movies that it won't even seem real to them. It will seem like they're watching just another movie. Other people will just shut down completely. They will just shut down mentally completely because they can't deal with it.
And now that we understand that all parties involved, this was part of their life contracts, can you see that from where you are, John?
Yes.
Does that help you process all of this?
I can process it. People still in their bodies are going to have a hard time understanding that everybody's been playing a role, that even the children made these contracts. Some of them, it's karma for other lives where they were the perpetrators. But that will be very hard for people to accept. Many, many people will not be able to accept or to understand or to forgive.
That is a hard one because people only want to identify that soul as being that little child.
Some of those souls are very, very old. Some were volunteers. Some came to make up karma. Many are very old souls. It took great courage to make that kind of contract.
I understand. Yes, I can see there's many layers of experiences that are quite significant when you put it like that, when it is dealing with karma.
Some of those children did even worse things in other lives.
Was it other lifetimes on Earth or just other lifetimes in general, somewhere else?
Mostly on Earth. Other lifetimes on Earth. There's been a lot of cruelty on this Earth for many, many, many hundreds of thousands of years.
I really appreciate this bigger perspective because I know this is a really big sticking point for a lot of people is the crimes against humanity for these children. And it feels really hard to accept the greater purpose of all, especially for everything that has had to occur to awaken humanity. Um, we understand that lots of people are confused about these sessions and think that this is potentially all made up. John, what would you like us to know? What advice could you give yourself if you're a human listening to these sessions? What would you say to yourself?
I don't know what I don't know what I'd say to myself, but I know I'm not made up. I'm real. Just because I'm not in my body anymore, I'm still just as real as I always was.
Yeah, well, I mean, anyone that's connected in with you since your departure can vouch for that. Yes, you're very, very delightful when you pop into sessions. So, in terms of clones, are we still in the timeline, or will Annette see you and your clone, or sorry, will Annette see your clone moving forward?
She might, but she doesn't watch the movies. She doesn't watch the TV or the news, so she may not. She won't see me in person.
Yeah.
But she's starting to enjoy me right now.
Okay, well, that's cute. Well, I do appreciate your perspective and information, John. And are you learning how to heal yourself and rejuvenate? Like, is there anything we can do for you or anyone in general? How can I help you, since you often want to come into these sessions?
I'm fine. Send love to my wife. I'm still trying to help her.
Okay. So we'll
She misses me a lot.
yeah. Okay. Um, well, we will definitely send, we'll ask all of the higher selves and subconsciouses uh, to pay attention to my request to be able to help and love and heal all people on this planet right now who are struggling with the loss of someone they have loved. Because I understand not only John's wife is grieving, but most of humanity in some way or another is grieving the loss of a loved one, regardless of whether it is through death or a disconnect of relationships. May everyone feel more connected to each other and to themselves than ever before.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope you don't mind that I included the rest of humanity in with your request.
No, that's good.
Okay, well, thank you, John, for connecting in with us. We do appreciate you. We do know you're real, and I want to send you love and appreciation for all that you have been doing with your life and your life contract.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so you can recede to where you belong with much respect to the vehicle. And then I'd like to be able to call upon Archangel Michael, please, because I know that he has an association and connection with Annette, and I would like to hear from him today.
He's here.
Thank you. Archangel Michael, I would like to know what is your message for humanity at this time?
The message is love. It's always been love. We get caught up in all the details, all the egos. We need to love each other. We need to love ourselves. Really, we need to spread love everywhere. These are tough times for a lot of people on this planet. And love will help Gaia and the people on Gaia. I see it. It's like bread rising with the yeast. Love will cause everything to rise and be lighter. Send love to all those people that are drowning in floods right now, or being trapped in earthquakes or fires. We need to send love. Love to all the children. Love to those who have done things to the children. Really, the only message that I can give today is love. Love each other and treat each other with love.
Is there any time that is justifiable for us to not love each other?
No. We can be angry with each other. We can be disappointed with each other. We can be sad about each other. But love should still be there with all those other emotions.
Thank you. Is it most appropriate to work on loving ourselves before trying to love others?
Both need to happen, but you can't love anyone else any more than you love yourself. So you really need to work on loving yourself, loving every bit of yourself, the warts and the bad habits and the things you think are, that you judge yourself for. Show yourself compassion and love yourself. Love every part of yourself. And then that love can be spread out to others.
From your perspective, what is stopping people from loving themselves?
We've all had so much judgment. We've all learned, a lot of it's been from the media. Most people don't love their bodies because their body doesn't look like what they see on the movies or the TV. Most people don't love their personalities because they've heard about saints and holy people and enlightened beings, and they feel they don't measure up. People don't love themselves because they're always comparing. Think about how you love your children. Even when they poop their diapers, you still love them. Even when they break things accidentally, you still love them. Even when they can't walk and they keep falling down, you love them for making the effort. We need to look at ourselves in that same way. Stop judging. Love.
It was beautiful. Thank you. And what is your part and role? What will you be doing when is it going to be one big major shift event, or during the shift? How are you helping?
We'll be escorting some people. There are many people that we connect with that are on this planet. We will be escorting them to the new earth.
I feel like many, when they start experiencing the earth moving and the disasters, they will be calling upon you quite frequently. I still can't comprehend how you can be at all places at all time for all of the people that are using your services. How is the best way for you to explain it to us today?
It's not something that can be explained. You someday you will understand how you can be in many places at one time. It's not something that you understand while you're in bodies.
Thank you. Okay. Yes, I understand. So for you, how do you feel about the progress that humanity is making at this time?
Compassionate, loving. All is going perfectly according to plan. I am watching and sending love.
Wonderful. What was that release? What release was that associated to the vehicle?
We're not showing her.
Huh. Okay, well, I was going to ask.
We'll know later. It will come in a dream. She will know later.
Interesting, thank you. I'm wanting to know, why does she sense that you're always behind her? What is your connection with her?
We've always been behind her. She's not the only one, but we've always been behind her, giving her strength.
Well, that is wonderful that she senses it and feels you and knows your support. It is wonderful. I want to thank you. I'm sure she is very grateful and shows her gratitude often.
We didn't hear that last part.
I'm sure she already is grateful and shows you much gratitude.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. In terms of, does anyone else have any messages that they have for us today?
Dolores just wants to say hi. She was listening in on your earlier conversation. She's sending you love, Joe.
Oh, thanks.
Be of courage. Yes, she wants you to continue to be brave. She can understand what you're going through. She went through a lot of it.
I can only imagine. Well, I
She
don't.
loves you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Did you know much about the crimes against humanity, Dolores?
I didn't want to know. Yes, I knew some, but I didn't. Oh, that part was very hard for me. And I had no idea the extent. No idea. I only knew a small amount.
I think it's not necessary to know about all of the crimes in terms of our awakening and our purpose and mission here on this planet at this time.
Now I know a lot of it, but at the time I had children. I didn't want to know that people were doing things to children like that.
Yeah. I'm sure if you had, I'm sure you would have explored it and understood the metaphysical perspective of it. It still feels horrible to know that. And I wanted just to say, I'm assuming that's all finished and that's not continuing on every day. I would like to believe that. Is that the case?
It's almost completely gone. Yeah, there's always a little something, but it's mostly gone. It's mostly been taken care of. There's still a lot of healing that needs to happen.
Healing for humanity, or what part can we heal today?
Healing for humanity, healing those involved. Well, all of those involved, the children and the perpetrators, they're all that healing needs to happen. And those who help to clean up the mess, they need a lot of healing because they were exposed to stuff that was very upsetting. So yeah, there's a lot of healing that needs to happen.
Those people that know about this and feel frustrated with the justice side, that they're not seeing any justice for these crimes, what would you like us to know?
There's always justice. You may not see it. It's often karma. People need to focus on healing themselves and not worry so much about whether or not other people are getting justice. Look forward, not back.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so then we will then ask now for all the collectives to help us at this time to be able to send profound healing and love to all of those who are trying to understand the purpose and significance and importance of all of these crimes against humanity, for them to be put into place to be able to understand the bigger perspective, to be able to remove any density or emotions that are connected to these crimes, as they can now move forward focusing on themselves and the inner work and healing and releasing anything that no longer serves them, so they can look forward and have the courage and the trust and the faith that they are surrounded in love, that they are protected, and everything is purposeful as they are all learning and growing and moving forward in their own life context.
Wonderful.
Well, you're wonderful, Dolores. We all love you.
And I love you. I'm giving you a big hug.
You can feel it, and it always makes me overwhelmingly dry with just deep gratitude. And I am so glad that we have your book still to learn and understand, and you did such a marvelous job with those books. So I really appreciate all that you did for humanity and do for humanity, because it gives a little bit more it gives a little bit more validity to the people who are still judging and questioning what on earth, when I am publicly talking about the shift being another planet.
I am very grateful for you, Joe, for all your hard work. And I know it's not easy. Just know that I'm with you. And I'm grateful for you continuing my work. Because that's what you're doing.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yes, we know.
Okay, well, thank you. Is there any other messages that you have for humanity at this time, Dolores?
Just to trust and listen to your guidance. All the answers are within you. Listen within.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much. And what will you be doing during the shift? Can you give us any insights into that?
I'm going to be partying. Um, I'm going to be, it just feels like such a celebratory time for me. Just feeling a lot of happiness watching it happen. Watching everyone going to the new earth. It's going to be just a beautiful sight to see. This new earth that I knew so much was coming. And yeah, it just feels really good to know that so many will be there.
It must just, will just feel, I am assuming for you to have, to see that as being, you know, that you don't do anything for rewards, but it would, I can just imagine how you would be feeling when people arrive on the new earth and having those experiences, and then thinking back about you saying, this is what she was talking about.
Yeah, it just feels, it will feel really good to see, even though I didn't have anything to do with it except to educate people about it, but there will be a sense of I don't know how to describe it, but just, yeah, a feeling like, yes, just it will feel very rewarding.
Do you have any roles in any other planets helping with evacuations at all in your vast other lifetimes?
Not right now. I'm still focused on this shift right now.
Did you have,
Who knows what the future might bring.
Did you have any other experiences on other planets regarding this?
Not yet.
Okay, exciting. Okay, well, thank you so much. Really appreciate talking to you, Dolores. You always make my heart swell. So thank you, thank you, thank you.